What's up, world changers? It's your boy Marbaby back with another Marbaby motivational message for y'all today. I pray y'all walking in y'all purpose. I pray y'all becoming the people who y'all supposed to become. And I pray y'all are genuinely happy, man. We living in a time right now where people are down. We going through COVID. You know, coronavirus was real for the last year and a half. So make sure y'all are prioritizing y'all mental health. But without further ado, you came to this channel. If you're new to the channel, make sure you drop down and hit that notification bell to get notified every time I post a video. And make sure you subscribe while you at it, because remember, one Marbaby motivational message a day will go a very, very long way. On this channel, we got Marbaby motivational music, Marbaby motivational messages, and mentorship, all for your benefit. Now, without further ado, we get into the video. The title of today's video is How to Not Be Fearful of Anything. How to not be fearful of anything. Now, before we get started on this topic, y'all, I want to preface this by saying fear is inevitable. Everybody at some point in time will get or will become fearful of something, right? It's a part of human nature. We all have, these type of instincts where we all are at one point in time or another fearful, regardless of what situation we're put in. I can't really remember the last time that I was scared, but I know when I was younger, one of the things that I used to get was like, I get butterflies before I play in my football games. And everybody, who plays football, the truth is they all get butterflies. They all get a little bit nervous. But what I started thinking at a really young age, and I was just actually talking to somebody about this, when I was about 7 or 8, I started thinking, if everybody out here is nervous, I might as well take advantage of everybody's nervousness. I have no reason to be fearful because A, I'm prepared, and B, this is what I do. So there's no need to be fearful in that regard. But I just wanted to preface it by telling y'all that everybody at some point in time will be fearful. Before you get into a fight, you might not be afraid, but you are going to be on your P's and Q's so you can stay sharp, right? Butterflies happen. Before I go, and do a speaking engagement, sometimes I get a little bit nervous, but the way I overcome that fear is by being prepared. But let's get into the main point, y'all. How to not be fearful of anything. The first point that I want y'all to write down and I want y'all to remember is change your perspective, right? Understand that nothing lasts forever, and one day you are going to die. Like, that's crazy to actually think about, y'all, but that's something that you really want to think about. Like, you don't need to be fearful because one day you leaving this earth anyway, right? One day you're going to be 6 feet under, just like some folks anyway. So what are you afraid of? You only got one life to live. You might as well do everything that you were going to do in this lifetime anyway. Put your all into it. Don't be fearful. Go get it. Like, what you got to lose? What's the worst that could happen? Start changing y'all perspective and how y'all think about things, because when you start thinking, you know what, I'm going to die one day anyway. I don't really care about what they think or what he thinks or what she thinks. Let's fall forward and make mistakes going forward, because at the end of the day, you're going to die one day. So the first thing is changing y'all perspective and understanding that nothing lasts forever. The second thing is, what's the worst that can happen? Right? When you go into a situation where you're fearful or where you're a little bit nervous, think to yourself, what's the worst that could happen? I'm not going to die. I'm going to be all right. Right? And if you are going to die, you're going to die one day anyway. So when you go into a situation and you're fearful, think you're not going to die. What's the worst thing that could happen to you out here? I don't care if it's a rumble. I don't care if it's going to talk to a shorty. I don't care if it's a football game, a sporting event, a public speaking event that you got to speak on stage in front of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. What's the worst that can happen, man? Let me tell y'all a little quick story. One of the first ever public speaking events that I had, I spoke in front of thousands of people, right? And this was the first time I was really on stage in front of that large of a crowd. I had spoke at like graduations. I spoke at all my graduations because I was always like the senior class president and all that stuff, and graduated salutatorian and valedictorian and stuff like that. But this was one time that I really had to like get myself together. And it's crazy because nobody ever knew me to be nervous. Everybody who knows me is like, oh, you're so outgoing. You just have a gift. But the truth is, everybody gets nervous. You're not going to be able to read it on me because I'm going to be cool as the other side of the pillow. But what I did was I took a deep breath. I said a quick prayer. Make sure y'all do that. And I kind of got myself together and I said, Mar, guess what? You're going to go out here and make this happen. And either you're going to get a standing ovation or they going to boo you off the stage. But guess what? Regardless what happens, you're going to be you, and you're going to have to look yourself in the mirror after this. And after you get past that, you gravy. You go out there and you deliver it like you know how. You go out there and you approach that woman like you know how. You go out there and play that football game like you know how. And you let the chips fall where they may. And you get back up and you be you. And when you start doing that, you'll notice you come across confident and everything works out. I got standing ovations every time I did a public speaking event. Every time I played football, scoring touchdowns, making tackles. Every time I go, like there's nothing to be fearful of. Nothing to be fearful of. When I got into fights, you know what? That fear, it didn't overcome me because it's like that flight or fight effect. You got to fight. You got to go. You can't second guess yourself. You got to make it happen. So the second thing, y'all, is remembering what's the worst that could happen. You're not going to die. And the third and final thing is stop giving other things so much power. A lot of the times when you're fearful, if you look up the definition of fear, it's not necessarily because you don't know who you are. It's you don't know what the thing you're fearful of can do to you, right? So there's no need to even fear that because you're giving things too much power. You're giving the opponents who you're playing against too much power. You're giving that man or that woman too much power. You're giving other things too much power because you're putting it on a pedestal. Don't be afraid of anything, y'all. Ladies, this is the same thing. If you're doing something in a male-dominated industry, don't be afraid to go get it. Just because you ain't never seen it happen before, don't mean it can't happen for you. You got to walk in that. And you got to believe that you could be the first one to do it. People have problems believing that they can do or be anything that they've never seen done or accomplished before. But why not? Why can't it be you? Who's to say it can't be you? Walk in that, man, and really own that, right? Stop giving everything else so much power. Like, don't let fear overcome you. Because, y'all, if you let fear overcome you for the rest of your life, what you're going to be doing is running. And who wants to live life like that? I'm telling y'all, and especially if you're young, this is something you need to get at a young age. Don't let fear win. Don't let fear win. I don't care if you got to yell. I don't care what you got to do to get it out your system and get it out of the inside of you, but let it go. The number one reason why people are not successful in the United States today is because they let fear override them. Fear of what people would think of them. Fear of, the unknown. Like y'all, so let me tell y'all something. A lot of y'all watching this video, y'all are fearful of what people think of y'all. That's why y'all second guess what y'all post on y'all social media. That's why you won't take that step in that business idea that you got because you scared of what somebody's going to think. Guess what? They don't care about you that much. And when you die, this world going to keep spinning. So remember that, y'all. The 3 things I want y'all to take away: understand nothing lasts forever and one day you going to die anyway. Remember what's the worst thing that could happen. And third, stop giving everything else so much power over you and over your life. I pray y'all got something today. I pray that y'all let this really sink in to y'all minds. And I pray y'all walk in y'all purpose and never let fear win. If you didn't subscribe to the channel, drop down and subscribe. Let's have some dialogue down there. Do y'all agree? Do y'all disagree? What's one time you were fearful of something? Did you overcome it or did you let fear win? Let's talk about it. I love y'all. Peace.